Until recently, a middle-class family like this could get by without too much financial pressure.
Where are the numbers?
But rising interest rates and inflation are taking a toll.
Things are getting a bit tight. I've always felt that if you work hard, you have a good, simple life, you can still enjoy and provide for your kids. But now I think the worry is creeping up.
Flavoured water, are you serious?
The couple pay $820 a week in rent, which is close to the maximum they can afford. They've also got increased mortgage costs on an investment property, which Saba Kazmi says even if they sold, wouldn't allow them to break into the Sydney market.
We're human, right? And we're paying our own rent, so we don't want to increase it to an amount that might just not be very feasible for the people who are renting there. But we don't want to make it hard on ourselves either to be able to service our mortgage.
Around 4 million households fall into the middle income bracket. Most of them are working parents, with an annual income of between $96,000 and $200,000. They typically spend more than $127,000 a year. Single adults spend less than half that amount and have an annual income of up to $86,000.
Certainly capital cities such as, say, Sydney and Canberra, they tend to have higher incomes than the rest of the country, whereas, say, Adelaide and Hobart and certainly regional areas of Australia will tend to have lower incomes than the median across Australia.
Experts say middle-income families are key drivers of the economy through household spending.
From an economic perspective, they really are the people who are working but also raising that next generation. They tend to spend a high proportion of their income. They have things like childcare costs. Their mortgage costs are generally quite high at that time of their lives.
Higher spending levels and mortgages make middle-income families more vulnerable to inflation and interest rates. And we're world leaders in housing debt, which is now close to a record high compared to income. The average new home loan is just over $600,000, and many families owe much more than that. This family of four has an $800,000 home loan.
We did it with the understanding that interest rates can go up, and we were able to cover that.
Their repayments have increased by $300 a week, inspiring them to invest in solar and grow their own food.
I haven't really quite at the point yet where we felt the pinch, but you know, that is, with subsequent hikes, I think we will be feeling that a bit.
Economists warn if these households come under too much pressure from the Reserve Bank's rate hikes, there could be big implications for the economy.
They are trying to slow the economy down in a way that doesn't necessarily lead to a recession, but where that tipping point occurs can be very difficult to judge. It will be those middle-income families that we want to look at. They'll be looking at their financial stress levels.
With more rate rises ahead, the strain on middle-income families is only set to worsen.